Hey, good night. What I mean by that is good night, not good night like goodbye. We're going to have a good night. Hey, everyone. Coming to you live from Hack Studios, Art T. Bear here. I am a 40-plus year veteran in this wild and wacky comic book industry that we know and love. And yeah, we got a Pontificators. It's Wednesday night. Wednesday is a Pontificators night. We've been doing this for over 4 years now. So I hope you guys are digging it. Hope you enjoy it. We got a good show tonight. Why is everything so gay? We're gonna get into a little bit of that, and we're going to also get into some other stuff. I think Todd Mulrooney, he better show up. Wants to get into some of like the comic book numbers and things like that. And we'll talk a little bit about the industry. And actually, maybe one of the reasons the industry is not doing well is because it's gone gay. I just want to be clear. I have no problem with gay. Gay is good. I have no problem with gay. But as an agenda, as something being shoved, pushed down your throat, not good. Not good. There's the Agatha Harkness show on Disney Plus, which is openly saying they're gay. We got the Human Torch that is having some kind of weird relationship. It could be gay with bugs. One of the things we were kidding around in the green room is like bug sex. So I think that was Pedro's contribution, which was bug sex. And so yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna have a good 2-hour journey, and it's gonna be a blast. So I see the guys coming in now. I just wanted to do something a little different tonight, and just kind of jump right in and start the show up. So we got Venom Bite. Is that it? First, he is numero uno. We got Jab Stylor, the Jab Stylor. Hey, what's up? We got Edwin the Ace. Go check out Volume 3 of the Ace. My dog's breathing heavy. The toys are in the behind that door. He's got some squeaky toys, so I hide them before I do live stream. So he'll probably start clawing at that door soon. Do you hear him? He's crying. He always does this just before I go live. Like all day, he doesn't give a crap. And then like when I go live, all of a sudden he needs his toys. You're not getting them, Arrow. You should just back off. Back off, buddy. Brian Norton says, let's pontificate. Hail. Indeed. Let's hail to the king. Past Master, we got a wrench in the house. So yo, RT Bear. And we got leg kick. It's not a party until you get kicked once by leg. Oh, listen to him. He'll mellow out. Let's see. Past Master asks, I don't have to accept anything. Jay is. All right. Oh, we got some new faces. We got Robert Adorn. Hello. Oh, that's a great Batman caricature. If you did that, that's freaking genius. I dig that. I'm a big cartooning fan. I like that. On the Ragatha all along. Yeah, it was Agatha all along. How much they changed that damn character from the comics. It's crazy. I don't like the new version. Let's see what Jav Stylor says. Not much. Speaking of dogs, my dogs chewed on my only USB-C cable. Oh, yeah, he's good. He doesn't really chew on stuff. He stays mostly to his toys. So actually, he just stays to his toys. He's a pretty good dog. He's not very destructive. He used to be when he was younger, but he's mellowed out since. All right, looks like we got a full house. So I'm going to start getting the guys in here, the Pontificators, and start introducing and get this party crazy. So we got the Silver Fox. He's always good for a couple laughs, and he draws the sexiest women in CG. So how you doing, Clint?
I am doing well, Art. It is good to see you again. Hail chat. Glad to see everybody here. We got a full house already right out of the get-go, so that is always awesome.
Yeah. So you know what that means? There's a lot of responsibility for us to entertain.
Oh, I don't do well with responsibility.
I know, and just the weight. I'm already feeling it on my shoulders. It's crazy. So I think we're going to have to get this guy in because this guy, heavy lifting is his middle name. Stress, it just bounces right off him. He is a talkative mofo, and once he gets going, you can't stop him.
You can't shut him up.
Todd? Oh, shit. I didn't mean to disturb your slumber.
That is an excellent intro.
That was perfect, my friend. Yeah.
So you
came in strong. Yeah, you came in strong in the green room. We're going to talk about some cells. So I think Bob found some.
You had a green room? Oh, okay. I know what you mean.
Our green room, the Pontificators green room.
Yeah, I thought maybe you had a little chat and I got the link late or something. I don't know.
No, I would never do that to you. I
had a great line, Art. The only exercise I get is running away from responsibility. I didn't get to use that.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Well, it's a good thing we have this guy because this guy, he'll just run right into it.
Bob,
you need something? Shit. I got it.
I ain't doing shit.
Oh no, we don't have a show then. I was just thinking about.
We never have an actual show. It's just kind of whatever ends up happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got some bad news. I got some bad news about those numbers.
No, let's get the full house in here. We got our brother from another mother. He comes from the land down under. He always is slipping shrimp on the Barbie, and he's got knives. Like when he shows his knife, it's like that's a knife. And without further ado, we got Mr. Pedro Ang.
Pedro, good day, mate.
What's it like in Australia?
It's awesome. One day I'll go.
What? Wait a minute. What are you saying? You are there.
No.
Where are you from?
I'm in Latin America.
Canada? You said?
Yeah. Canada is Latin America. Yeah.
I was talking to Pedro earlier. We were working on some black and white high octane stuff. By the way, looks brilliant. Pedro's killing it. But he was just bragging about prices in Latin America.
Yeah.
Prices in the United States. And just eggs alone, he's paying half of what we're paying here in Texas. So I brought that up to my wife just at dinner, Pedro, and she's thinking of moving to Latin America.
Dude, okay, Panama is a huge expat destination. Like you don't even need to know Spanish. If you go to the beach communities, it's mostly retired gringos.
Yeah.
So you'll be right at home.
I could be a retired gringo.
Yeah.
I could do that.
I mean, we had an American serial killer. Like the only serial killer in Panama was an American called Wild Bill, and he lived in Bocas del Toro, which is like in the Caribbean. Dude, beautiful house, and he was like a real estate agent. But what he did was he killed all the expats, buried them in the patio, and then sold the house. And he did that like 4 times, and he's in prison now. And
that's good, you guys. He's
come to Panama,
he's facing
die.
Yeah. You know what? Those gringo neighborhoods, like I've been in Baja, Mexico.
Yeah.
And I have a friend that actually owns. I don't know if you call them villas, but I mean these are like one of a kind custom homes up in the hills overlooking. I forget the ocean there, but gorgeous stuff. And we got lost in there, my friend and I, and so we were looking for that house. And there's no owners. They just have like people, like maids and people to maintain the properties. They don't even live there. They just have their people live there.
That's what they call in Panama. Those are called like weekend housing. Most beach houses that down here are weekend housing. Like people live in the city, They say fuck you all from Thursday on. They go to the beach, and they have slaves. Look,
I don't know if they're slaves. I think they're probably even better than the people that own the house because they are living there. Like those people that own the house are like there maybe a weekend, every couple months.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, my ex-wife, her family had one of those houses, and they have like a little house for the family that looked after the house. And yeah, it was like servitude, man. Like I didn't enjoy the situation. Is they just come at you like really servile? I was like, wow, from another time. But you can get one of those families for yourself if you move down to Panama. You can have slaves. How about that?
I don't want a slave, but I do like the idea of somebody maintaining my property for me.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of down with that. That would be pretty cool. One of these houses, Pedro, because they have no building codes there. So if you have money, you can make some crazy shit.
Oh,
so
no,
the house that we
like
stayed in was dug into the ground. Like there were rocks, like serious boulders that had been there for like hundreds and hundreds of years. And so they just kind of blasted around them and they made it downstairs around these boulders and stuff. So the walls aren't really walls. They're the rock. They're the boulders, right?
Wow.
And so then the house across the street is like, I'm looking at the entry, the porch, and it's blue. There's a big round window and there's doors on either side. So it's like this, doors on the side, straight ahead, big window. It's blue and it's moving blue. So I'm like, there's light coming through that. I think that's a freaking pool. So when I got higher elevation, the whole rooftop around, it's a circular house and it's a pool. It's a pool built in the middle of this house. So the roof basically is the deck for the pool. And I'm like, holy shit. And then I was asking prices. This was probably 20 years ago. Some of these houses were only like $1 million, $1.25 million. And I'm like, oh shit.
Dude, you can have like not a crazy house, but a great like 7 room house, pool, like 5,000 feet for like 375,000.
Dude, if I'm gonna move to Latin America, I want a crazy ass house. I don't want just a normal freaking house.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you will be able to afford it.
Yeah.
I want a house made out of human flesh, of course, sir. This way, we have.
Yeah, you always have to go there. You always go there. Yeah. So we got this Agatha,
Speaking of human flesh.
My gosh, there's these, like, it's almost like self-sabotage. Like, these people do not want to be successful. And I think it's Variety. Variety has been posting these, I guess, this red carpet stuff. I don't know why these things are red carpeted. They're just like Disney Plus stuff. It's like, what's the celebration all about? But anyways, it's got a lot of the actors, and it's got this gay reporter. I mean, he's
flamboyant. Yeah.
He's obviously gay. And once again, disclaimer, none of us pontificators have a problem with homosexuality, except maybe Todd, but that's only when he's on a strip in Vegas.
Yeah.
Because he has a hard time when he's drunk deciphering male, female.
No, and not only that, like being Todd and being the actual stud he is, just getting them away. It's like, keep away, leave me alone. Not today. Like,
he wants to be available to the hot. Because if you have all these gay guys around you, then look at Clint. He's like not down with this.
They're clipping his style.
I think what we would say is we care about the story.
Yeah.
If there's gay characters involved in a really good story, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But when you ignore writing a good story just to promote a woke agenda, whatever it involves, it's like nobody enjoys that. And that's what happened with Acolyte. We'll see what happens with Agatha, but it's like there's the agenda of just promoting our political agenda instead of, like, this is supposed to be entertainment, and it's supposed to be entertainment for everybody. And that can include everybody. You can write a good story, and you can have all different strata of people, whether it's race, sexual orientation, anything. If the story's good, guess what? Everybody's going to enjoy that.
Yeah.
But when you just don't even care about the story and you just want to push your political agenda, that's where, and I think a lot of people agree with this. It's like, this is garbage.
Yeah, but I feel like they know they are on the way out, so it's just like
there's a desperation.
Yeah, that's all
there's a desperation in these interviews.
Yeah,
there's a desperation in the. I mean, how many times have we said why won't white men watch our movies? And then there's the story 6 months ahead of the time of this movie is not for older white men. You know, it's like they're getting crushed by their own agenda.
I mean, I know for a fact that black men are not watching either, but
why is it always us old white guys that get blamed?
Yeah, exactly.
Black guys don't like that shit.
like that shit. Even worse, like, dude, our community is really not into that.
Well, I have one of these. I have one of these red carpet. Let's see if I can pull this off.
Oh yeah, pull up the red carpet interview because it's so cringe. It's
it's pretty.
As the kids would say, it's so cringe.
Oh, yeah.
It's so cringe. Yeah.
We're
So, are you guys seeing this?
Yeah, we see.
All right, so let me hit play. This is WDW Pro, and they did a pretty good rundown on this. And so let's see if you can hear it.
The effort that Kevin Feige reportedly, allegedly is trying to do.
Yeah, I think they probably would have did worse numbers than Loki, and they washed their hands and moved on, and we haven't really heard anything about it. That does not look to be the case here with Agatha. I think they're going to be releasing this weekly, so we are going to be seeing this kind of get the Acolyte treatment. We're going to be seeing the numbers probably significantly decline over time. But again, this is a spinoff from one of their top-tier characters in Scarlet Witch. I think Kevin Feige really likes Scarlet Witch. I remember promoting that character as a top Avenger a couple of years ago. So I think they need to.
I think this is just a case of this over 2 weeks. I would have done for the viewership, holiday itself, get that Hocus Pocus 2, Jamokus going on, and then I would have got out of here. Take a look at this interview. It gets worse.
It's been described to me that Agatha is the gayest.
This man is obsessed, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Just look at how excited.
Had ever done. Agree?
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Why is it?
You'll see. You'll see when you watch it. But, I think witches are queer inherently just because we are outcast and set.
Is she saying, John, that she's literally a witch? This interview is weird.
I was going a witch? We were on the same wavelength. That's what I was thinking. It's possible. We've seen some of these celebrities come out and talk about how they have dabbled in witchcraft. I think Elizabeth Olsen has even talked about how she has done that in her personal life outside of playing the character of Scarlet Witch. I think one of the most school dance movies, whatever, back in the day.
Folks, if you're
aside for many reasons, and I think this show shows a really good representation of different types of people, and that we can all use the power we have within to go forth and.
John, should I say it? Is she talking about the power of many?
And that just alludes to the Acolyte.
She's so full of shit. Like, none of this makes any sense. And then it's like representation of fucking witches, of witches. What is this? You know what? We need more zombie representation in the world. We need more of these made up things to represent what? This is Weirdsville, right?
Yeah, dude. And talking from experience, as a guy who's playing in bands for 32 years, not all witches are queer. Okay, I've known many goth chicks have gone through this humanity, who are weakened and you see, Darren knows, and no, they're not all of them. Some are, like anything. But
hey, Pedro, witch doctors and witches, two different things.
Yeah, I know.
But you get your leg healed by the witch doctor and some voodoo medicine. He's not a witch. He's a witch doctor.
I resent that thought. I don't eat cats. I'm not from Haiti.
Witch doctors and witches and all them bitches.
That's a Haiti shit. I'm in Panama. It's completely different. I don't speak patois.
Oh yeah, completely different.
Completely. But let's just really different. The assumption that witches aren't real. which I believe they are not.
Oh, they thought they were.
This is.
I didn't want to be the wet blanket, Art, but
Yeah, they thought they were. The thing is, like, they believed they were, Art. And I wanted to get into them panties. So I was like, okay, you're a witch, whatever.
Well, yeah.
Here, I'll ask all of you guys. All of you guys experienced guys in the world.
Yeah.
Two things that one of these two things is real: witches, crazy women.
Hey, I live in Massachusetts. I take offense to that.
Hey,
You see,
hey, witches and bitches are just one letter off, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Interview said that exact phrase and question to every member was embarrassing. Yeah, he asked every one of the actors the same question. So it was really clear that they don't, like you were saying earlier, Clint, they don't have a story. They don't have anything to say other than this weird agenda. So you have this guy just asking the same question to all the different stars of the show. And it's like, it's clear. This is agenda. This is some weird shit that they're trying to sell the show on that nobody cares about. Nobody cares about this stuff. Go ahead.
What would be fun is, okay, you got that guy and he's got his agenda. He's obviously gay, and like the gay storyline is important to him. But then what would be fun is if they had like a hardcore comic nerd get to interview too, and like ask some questions about like the Marvel history of Agatha, and like ask because the characters aren't going to know any of this stuff, or at least like ask the the writers and the director like some of like the stuff that the fans of Marvel movies and comics and all this stuff.
Even for
that a little bit of breathing space to ask those type of questions too. Yeah. I don't think all of us as Marvel fans would be like,
even for Marvel fans,
stuff he cares about, but have the fans ask about the stuff that they care about too. Then it wouldn't be so bad. But they don't do any of that.
No, dude. That character is very obscure.
Todd's got his hand up.
I want to point out a couple of things. One, he said this A-list character.
That was my point.
I'm not really sure who he was about to say. Yeah. Two, I'm pretty sure if this were a movie, I would have loved for it to be a movie. So this would be the first movie to make under $1 million.
Oh yeah.
So they're lucky. It's just a show. They can ride it out. Yeah. They're going to take a ton of heat. Then they're going to blame us, straight white guys.
Yeah, it's all our fault.
So
yeah, they're going to blame us, right?
I have a theory. Oh, go ahead, Bob.
I said I when I first saw this, I posted on the link from that interview. I was like, okay, I'm going to predict a roadmap for this friggin' show. It's not made for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. And then 6 months from now, it's your fault. It's canceled. Yeah. It's you didn't watch. I'm like,
yep.
Well, that's the Acolyte playbook.
Yeah, it's literally the Acolyte playbook, man.
And that's
it's like blame, deny, and then blame.
What I can't wait for is the Acolyte season 2 where they course correct and they get back to like Star Trek.
There isn't going to be a season 2.
I want to see more Star Trek lore in the Acolyte too.
Yeah.
Yeah, use the Force, Harry.
Klingons. I want to see some Klingons.
Yeah. I want to see Dumbledore using the Force.
I want to see George Lucas's version of the Tribbles. Oh, that's right. They had Ewoks.
Vulcan Jedis rescuing everyone.
George LaForge, Sith Lord.
Dude, I'm still pissed about Ewoks, man. I'm like, that's bullshit. We were supposed to get friggin' Wookiees.
Wookiees, yeah.
You know what the most amazing thing is when that one gets blown up and you just kind of laugh out loud because
when the other one's like crying, like touching, like yeah, that was funny as hell. Yeah,
I never wanted to be a stormtrooper so much in my life.
I want to start with Minox. Remember the Minox?
Oh yeah.
And the guys that were almost ate the Millennium Falcon and Empire. Like I want to start with those critters.
They're supposed to suck on like electrical.
Yeah, they chew on like electrical cables and stuff.
Yeah. Or they could suck on Ewok blood. That would be a movie.
Ooh, yeah.
I just wanted to see
taking out Ewoks.
Wanted to see
some dark bathing in Ewok blood. Pontificators.
No, dude, seriously, man. I remember going to like a convention with a big ass friggin' sign with an Ewok with a circle and a slash there. I'm like, I'm still pissed about this 20 years later. This bullshit.
Yeah,
But-
the thing
but-
is, I saw it when I was 12. So I was
That's
like,
a perfect age. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, okay, that's charming. But I knew Chewbacca. You know what I mean? So it was like, well, this is like a
Chewbacca was
dollar
awesome.
store Chewbacca here. Like, what's happening?
Chewbacca?
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca?
This is the southern version.
What a wucky.
Man, what? Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyways, like I do have a theory of why Disney's doing this stuff
Mm.
because we've already kind of alluded to the fact like these things have been inventoried, right? This thing was probably 3
Mhm.
years in the making
Yeah.
already to get to this point. So this is all past tense, right? So they could either have the balls of what was the guy from Warner Brothers that just canceled Bad Girl? Like they just
Zaslav?
yeah,
Yeah,
Zaslav.
Zaslav, yeah.
Yeah, Zaslav. Like just ballsy, just like these things were finished and he just scrapped them, right? And they could have done that.
Yeah.
They could have done that, but I think the reason they didn't, because there's no way they actually think this is going to be a hit. There's
No.
absolutely no way they think this is going to be a hit. And they can like we've speculated they're going to use the same stuff from the Acolyte, like it's these type of people, it's this thing, this is why it failed, whatever. And none of it is like, well, we made a shitty property or a shitty show that nobody wanted to watch based on a bunch of agenda that nobody cares about, you know? So I think they're doing this because let's just say this is my hopeful, okay, Clint? I know you're like, this is dark and everything, but hear me out. Okay, this is the hopeful part of it. Okay. So Disney is giving them enough rope to hang themselves.
Yeah.
To actually show the world that this crap doesn't work. Because if they can do that, it's already bought and paid for, right? It's already bought and paid for. So they're just trying to figure out how they can get something else out of it. So if they can show the world that this agenda and all this other crap that came from Bob Iger on high, you know, if he can do this, then he doesn't have to go to these people and say, you're a freaking loser. Your agenda is stupid. Whatever, you know, whatever.
Get out of here. Yeah.
Because then he could just go, the numbers don't make any sense and the numbers don't lie. So we can't make these type of shows anymore. Boom, cut and dry, right? You can do that as an executive and you can basically wash your hands of all the shit that you've created.
And you're protected. You're protected from the backlash. You're protected from the woke coming after you. But you get, because you can say, we dumped $240 million into the Acolyte. And then even when that blew up in our face, we still did Agatha and we promoted it as a queer-friendly show. And that tanked too. So
but the end should have been Willow. That's the thing. Like the end should have been Willow. Because I mean Willow, they yanked it out of Disney Plus and they throw it as a write-off. Like it's the worst failure they've done, and nobody remembers it because they've been failing and failing and failing over and over again. But a savvy businessman would like, okay, Willow, what was it? A lesbian swordsman and the queer.
And then you've got the shiny golden middle finger in the air of Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
Well,
and
not only that.
Like, okay, it's not rocket science. We know what people like.
Well,
we know what's going to make money. We've given you many opportunities to try and get this woke shit off the ground. It isn't working.
What was the show that they had the cartoon where it's Inside Out or whatever? And I guess that there was a version of that show that was really like that.
No, the movie
character was going to come out of the closet in the movie, and so then Disney actually said, "No, we can't do this." So there is.
And it's the biggest animated movie in history.
Right, because they changed it. So like Clint said, like with Deadpool, but they also have like a Disney animated feature that they have proven how to make a movie and make money. So I just want to say one thing, you guys. This is a Pontificator exclusive. I have heard no YouTuber talk this way about Bob Iger using these shows, airing them to show the world that this agenda stuff doesn't work anymore. This is also something he's created, but he's the alpha, the omega. So he can then go in and use this as an excuse to wash his hands from it and then just say, we need to start, listening to our shareholders. We need to start making money. And all that stuff that you said, Clint, was perfect. And so then he can wash his hands. I mean, it is the perfect exit strategy. But I want to say, you heard this first on Pontificators. So you guys need to tune into this show every damn week because there's insight that you're not going to hear anywhere else.
Anywhere.
And plus, anybody who wants to like come at us like, oh, it's anti-gay. No, because look at who they brought back. Look at who they brought back to save Doomsday and Secret Wars now. They brought back the Russo brothers.
Yep.
And I believe one of the Russo brothers is gay. And he had his thing at the beginning of Endgame where him and Cap are in the circle talking about, the 5 year, the snap and all that stuff. But those guys made fantastic movies and they put a little bit of their own little story into that, but it was a movie for everybody. Mm-hmm. Look at the money that movie made. Yeah. So it's not like you can't do good story-driven movies and have something for everybody. You can have gay storylines, you can have straight storylines, you can have different race storylines. You can do all that, but story comes first.
Right.
If you don't have that solid storyline, nobody's going to care about the rest of the stuff.
Representation doesn't mean propaganda.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, representation has always existed. I mean, if you just take the Disney animated films, like a lot of those Disney princesses, all the way back to, I don't know, even further, but like Aladdin, let's just say, like Jasmine.
Yeah. They're not white.
like you take Jasmine, you take a lot of these like Moana.
I took Jasmine several times.
Pocahontas, like all these characters, like these are before they decided that they were going to try to sell exclusively on agenda and that they're so progressive. The thing is, you're not doing anything that you weren't already doing. You're just labeling it. And I do think on some level, this was an experiment and it's still going to go on. This isn't going to be the end of it.
There'll still be.
Yeah, it's a social experiment.
And the thing is, like, it's always like a dumb conversation because people have asked me, like, "Hey, do you feel represented by a Lion King?" Like, I'm not a lion.
I'm not a freaking cat, dumbass.
Yeah,
but you know what? There was just at the Emmy Awards, there was just a perfect example of how this argument is bullshit. Shogun, which has a 95% Asian cast. There's only 2 white characters in the entire show, and there's only one of them that's even close to being a main character. Just won 13 Emmy Awards. It's the biggest show of the year.
Yeah, the thing is, the original was
this whole awesome. This whole thing was like, oh, you hate minorities. Then why was that show so successful?
Yeah, Japanese are white too.
And that show, like the American version was dubbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could hear it.
It's actually subtitled,
Right. You could watch it in different ways. Like it had all 3 different ways or something like that. But the one you were watching, even the guy that he speaks English, because you've heard him on Lost and other things, they dubbed him. And I was really taken back by that.
Wow.
But that show
was awesome.
Oh, phenomenal.
Best show I've seen all year.
Well, I used to see the Miyazaki films in the theater without the dub. Like I read the subtitles,
Nice.
I never really had too much of a problem. I saw Akira in the theater too with subtitles.
Hey Bob, I'm watching Star Blazers again in original Japanese, and I'm having a blast.
I grew up on Star Blazers, man.
Yeah, dude.
I love that show. That show's fantastic.
But anyways, all this stuff is just false. It's not true. There's definitely an agenda beyond just the shows, and I do think Bob Iger is a frustrated politician.
Yeah.
I do think he had aspirations for presidency, and so in lieu of being the president, he was going to fundamentally add some hope and change to the Disney company. And I don't think this guy gives a fuck about the Disney brothers. I don't think he cares about the legacy of any of these things. I think he is just like everything else like that's happening in society. He's just going to tear it all down because what's more Americana than the Disney brothers, right? He's going to tear that shit down and then he's just going to rebuild it in some kind of whatever this this new
In his
world
own-
likeness
in his
is.
own image.
Yeah.
So
He's like, I'm looking at the cast for Shogun, and even the characters that aren't white, they're freaking,
Yeah.
they're Hispanic.
They're Hispanic. Yeah, there you go.
It's like there's no white people in this entire show. Your argument's bullshit.
Yeah.
So just to confirm something you're saying, Art, kind of where you're going, is there's this conference that happens once a year where all these elite people get together.
Is that Davos?
The Pentaveret?
Yes.
Oh,
No.
you have to
No.
say it with a Scottish accent.
It's
Oh, the
something you can look
Pentaveret.
up. I remember watching a video about it, and they were showing like somebody got footage of the people who were landing and
Oh,
going.
you mean the Bilderberg, yeah, right?
Bilderberg. That's it.
The Bilderberg group.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I
these
like the
elite
Pentaveret
people
better.
do have an agenda.
Yeah,
And
oh,
it's
yeah.
all tied into that stuff where they say you'll own nothing and be happy. All that
Yeah.
shit's it's all part of
They
it.
want to control everything.
Oh yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it's the globalist. I mean, just as an
Yeah,
umbrella,
global.
it's the globalist. It's that Charles Schwab. It's BlackRock.
Oh,
It's a
dude.
lot of power players, and they're the ones that benefit from all this. And also, like I've been not studying economics, but I've been trying to stay like in tune with like what's happened economically. And the thing is, the biggest wealth transfer happened during the pandemic. Like the richest got. Some of those people, they doubled their
Yeah.
net worth, and so they benefit every time the dollar gets printed more. Every time the housing crashes, every time these economic things happen, the rich benefit. Like the poor and middle class, even upper middle class, they don't. But the rich do get richer because they get to exploit all the damage that they do. So if they destroy the housing market, they get to go in and buy cheap, right? Because they've destroyed it. So on and so forth. So I do think part of their plan, because we're just rational, normal people, and for years we've been scratching our head like, why are they doing this? Well, they're doing this because like all of our guesswork was like they want to destroy it. That's exactly what they want to do. They want to destroy it, and then the wealth transfer goes to them, but not just in a regional way, like your town or your state or your nation. This is global.
Yeah.
You know, like this is freaking huge.
Between I can't remember the name of the third organization, but between Blackwater, BlackRock, and this third organization. Okay,
State Street.
Huh? State Street. That's it. So everyone, all the lefties are freaking out about Elon Musk and his what, like $200 billion and owning Twitter and all this. Between those three entities, just those three entities, the CEOs of those countries, of those conglomerates, control 40% of the world's economic power.
Yeah.
Between those three, between those three companies, they control something in the area of $14 trillion worth of economic power.
Yeah,
that's friggin' nuts. Elon ain't shit compared to those guys.
No. And 70% of that like economic power doesn't really exist. It's all like
it's
investment stuff that's just sitting in funds. And,
exactly.
But like those guys are kingmakers and king breakers.
Yeah, but it's not Blackwater. Blackwater is like the mercenary group.
Yeah,
BlackRock.
He's just missing the BlackRock.
Vanguard. That's the other one.
Vanguard. A hedge fund.
Mercenary
group.
Hey, Bob, speaking of economic power, I've got links to the Blue Bombshell sign-up page and Slave Girl in Demand. If you could throw those in the chat, that'd be awesome. In the private chat there, links.
Yeah, we'll go over all this stuff, Clint, towards the end.
But it's funny.
And
like,
we're going to promote the hell out of this stuff.
Yeah, but it's funny.
We got
like
good properties for you guys.
Yeah. But it's funny, like we're seeing Disney do this thing. Honestly, I don't think. I think you're leaning into it too much, Art. I think that they just don't have a plan at all.
No,
I think this is just what they want to do, and they're going to refuse to, as long as they're not held accountable for it. Because look at how badly Kathleen Kennedy's destroyed Star Wars.
Yeah, but my main question there, Bob, is they let Deadpool get through, and I mean Deadpool
because they still like money.
Exactly. So maybe they're going to just play it both sides of the fence.
They're
We're
always
going to
supposed
do
to
Tuesday. We're going to do Secret Wars, but then we're going to do Agatha all along and the Acolyte.
If you think about life, there's always inconsistencies. You're never going to get 100% consistency. So there's always going to be anomalies, and there's always going to be these things. But if you think about what was the Vanguard, BlackRock, what was the other one? If you think of
Vanguard, State Street.
If you think about the collusion, that's only 3 entities. You could collude freaking big time, right? Like it's just 3 people that have to agree on something. That's it.
Yeah.
And then what were you guys saying? 40% of the world?
Something like 40% of the
economic power.
Economic power.
Economic power. That's 3 people. All you have to do is get 3 people on the same page, and then you can change fundamentally. You can change policy of the world. And I used to never buy this stuff because I could never buy into the conspiracy because I was like, there's too many moving pieces. There's too many moving parts. And then when you think about it, like now it's very clear. There aren't really that many moving parts because it's like Hollywood. Okay. All those people, I heard like Corolla and some other people talk, like insiders that know Hollywood. It's
riddled.
You have to side with the power or you don't work. Yeah. So if you think about it, it's a blackmail scheme. It's crazy. So
you got to make your bones just like the mafia.
There's one head of the studio. There's one head of BlackRock. Those guys are controlling everything. Everybody falls in lockstep or you're out. Yeah.
So if you think about it, okay, you got Bob Iger. So now that's 4 people. That you could get on the same page. Bob Iger, Disney owns ABC. They own news outlets. They own sports outlets, and then all these other entertainment, cable TV, streaming, all these things, all these outlets that they own. So it's not really that much of Mission Impossible to even buy into that this could happen. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing: a much wiser
it could never happen, but now it seems completely feasible.
A much wiser person than me once said, "You don't have to have a formal conspiracy when like interests converge."
Yeah, that's
exactly what the Bilderberg Group is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's why
you want to know where the switch was flicked. This goes back to Rothschild.
Mm-hmm.
He was so bitter. He said, "I'm putting my money in pharmaceuticals," because they were making him like, "Look, we need the steel, we need the iron, wartime." Yeah. He wasn't going to get his price, and they forced him. And he said, "I'll get you." And that's where the switch was flicked, and he changed like our food, everything that's in, all that stuff.
We're gonna end up talking about the Beast of Jekyll Island or something. I'm loving this show. Yeah, the Beast of Jekyll
Island. This is why this show is great because we go down these rabbit holes.
And when did Soros stick his foot in though?
Soros is really old, man.
I know, but like,
when was the last time you saw him? Like really, like on video? Like here's George Soros. Like a couple of years back.
He looks like he's ready to die.
Dude.
Well, his son it's his son that's in control of everything now, I think.
Yeah.
And he's even worse than his dad.
If you think about Clint, even that's not that hard because these banks are putting pressure on businesses and things like that. So they're saying if you don't have these environmental check boxes, if you don't have this and you don't have that, then we're just going to cut you off. So you're not going to be able to get loans. You're not going to be able to grow your business unless you play ball and hit their standards. That's why all of this green stuff is happening. All of this woke crap is happening because they're dictating those terms to businesses. And if these businesses want that money, they're going to have to play ball. So I think the reason you see all these businesses, Warner Brothers, like all these entertainment, and then outside of that even, is because they still need that money. You know what I mean? Otherwise, they'll just die. And so that's why you see the split loyalty. That's why you see the agenda happen versus making movies to make money, because there's a split loyalty now. Like Disney has a split loyalty. They have BlackRock and they have these investors, but then they also have the people that spend money on their product. So they're just trying to have both. They just want both. But I think they would easily sell out everybody for that BlackRock money. I think they would sell out, for that global agenda in a heartbeat. Look at all the shit that Disney's doing with China. Like, fuck, they would sell out America in a heartbeat.
You mentioned green, right? And electric vehicle doesn't become net zero until 10 years. But those batteries don't last 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, I want to Old Dirty Fatty. Yes, I'm working on it. I've just finished a huge project like 3 days ago. I'm finally done with that. The classes are coming. Like,
okay.
Now for real.
Is that this one right here, by the way, Pedro?
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, we were talking about today, Art. Like, I finished like that huge project that was taking most of my time. Like, I just finished yesterday. So
that's where you've been.
More time on Black and White, High Octane too.
Yeah,
that's not what Art told us.
No, I know.
He said you were stuck in the jungle with just a machete.
Yeah.
And
no lie so far.
No lie so far. Yeah, exactly.
And that,
man, hey Todd, you learned
I'm
from the best, man. That was a good touche right there.
I'm waiting for the gotcha moment. Like, machetes, jungle,
and you came across some cannibals, and that
family
had been eaten.
Those are cousins. Todd.
Those are cousins.
Yeah. The cannibals are cousins.
You want to make
living in a mud hut,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Are these the same? Imiwane? Is that the same group? Imiwane?
Imiwane? No, I don't
Jim
know.
Elliott. You don't know the Jim Elliott story?
The Jim Elliott.
You want to suck these nuts? I don't know what the hell that means.
No, yeah.
Oh,
he completely loves me.
No.
I don't go the places you go, Todd.
The End of the Spear. The End of the Spear. Watch that movie.
The End of the Spear. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. That
Pedro,
sounds very African.
I haven't seen your people apologize yet for Apocalypto. So,
well, take into account that they're not really my people.
No,
like, those guys
Incan.
look at me funny. You know what I mean? Like that.
I know they look an awful lot like you.
No, the indigenous people. No, I'm not one of them. Like, they will look at me funny. Like, what are you doing in my land?
Sure,
and
you're
I have
not.
to shoot them.
Do they have a word for you? Like, is there a slang word for you?
Yeah.
What is it?
In Spanish would be criollo.
What does that mean?
Like Creole. Like, Creole would be like mixed with Spanish, black, indigenous, like not pure.
Oh, okay. I got it.
It's not a term of endearment.
Well, enough of this nonsense. We need to get into some blue bombshell here.
Exactly.
So we're going to do a mid-show plug right here. So take it, Clint.
Titties.
Blue Bombshell is returning in October. I'll be closing down Slave Girl versus Pirate Queen end of September here and launching the new book. If you got Blue Bombshell Book 1 or the Maidens of Mayhem story that has a lot of Blue Bombshell in it, you kind of know the gist of it. But this is kind of like a superhero sex comedy. First Blue Bombshell book was my biggest selling book, so I'm like really pretty stoked to bring it back, and hopefully everybody else is kind of excited about that too. But this is going to be launching probably mid-October, running until about the end of the year, and working on the art right now, working on some variant covers, but I can play the little video clip here.
Yeah, play the video. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I want to see this.
'80s porn music.
Behold the spectacle.
Where are her organs?
Oh, the fake thumbs. Awesome.
Pedro's loving that beat.
Yeah. I want to get a Jericho and dress like Prince.
This is like when I was at the barbershop.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, this is Blue Bombshell, not to be confused with Blue Butt Shell. That's a future sequel we can't talk about yet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Look at that.
The Blue Butt Shell? Is that what it was talking?
Yeah, that's what he said. There's no buts in this.
I mean, they would be welcome too. But
So yeah,
That's
again,
that's
superhero sex
fantastic.
comedy. If you like the old Jail Abe Wahaha stuff with a lot more tits in it, this is the comic for you. I got the mailing list right now. It's super important. You sign up for the mailing list. Doesn't cost you a dime. If you back the book, you sign up the mailing list, you're going to get a free sketch card, and also gives you access to the discount reward tier, so you can kind of get the biggest tier that's got everything, but you're going to get it at a discounted price. So I haven't been pushing this thing because I've kind of been slacking for the last month, so I need to kind of get back on the horse. And promotion wise, sometimes you get tired of promoting stuff because you just feel like you're blowing your own horn, but I know promotion's very important. So yeah, everybody go check out the mailing list, sign up for it. It's completely free. If you decide to back the book, it looks like something you're into, you're going to get a bunch of bonus stuff by being on that mailing list. So yeah, just go check this out, sign up for it, and get that mailing list blowing up on here. So appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, let us blow your blue bombshell.
And
It looks fantastic, man. The character design is awesome, and these things are a lot of fun, you guys. So, and Clint always delivers. He always comes through on his promises. So you never really have to worry about that. And you're always going to get some fun, sexy stuff. And so go sign up for Blue Bombshell today. Do it right now, you guys. Just take a little break. Go over there. Click the link in the description or in the, I guess it's right here. Marcus put it up.
Yep.
Click that link. Go over there and just sign up, man. He's not asking you to really commit any money at this point. Just sign up. Usually there's some kind of giveaway. If not, they're going to get some early juice, right? They're going to get some early.
Yeah, I mean, if they sign up and they back the book, free sketch card. So you get original art sketch card from me, a Blue Bombshell.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, if you back it, that's what you're getting. You're getting that for free, nothing extra on it. And then also, I always do, anybody that signs up for the mailing list, I always do a discount tier on usually the biggest reward that's got everything in it. So you're going to get everything. It usually includes all the variant covers. It usually includes cards, prints. You usually get original sketch in there. So, but you'll get that usually like $20-25 knocked off of it. So it's a good thing to sign up for this. And then it really helps the campaign launch, helps get word out to everybody. And like, it's kind of the lifeblood of these campaigns is kind of getting the word out. I mean, that's the hardest thing, is letting everybody know, especially like most of my stuff gets shadow banned right out of the launch. So signing up for the mailing list lets me get you the information, lets me tell you when the book is launching, all the extras and all the bonuses you can get out of that. So it's a huge help for me in having these campaigns be successful. So I super appreciate everybody who signs up to the mailing list. It really helps these books out.
And you guys get a killer freebie with the backing. So, at this point, you're not out anything. So, yeah, you guys should check that out. I also have a pre-launch sign-up page. Can you guys see this? The black and white volume 3, Sins of the Father. Oh, cool. I'm never sure. So, yeah, you guys sign up early. You'll be eligible with the backing to get a trading card as well. We are celebrating 30 years of black and white. 1994 through Image Comics was the first release, the first appearance of this dynamic duo, Black and White. Reed Blackett, a.k.a. Black, Whitney Sung, a.k.a. White. So all it takes is your email address, you guys. Just sign up. Like Clint was saying, this helps. One, it also gives you confidence that you kind of know, how many people are going to come in, how many people care about the campaign, things like that. And then there is like a great payback where you get the card with the backing, and also usually sometimes there's early like specials, things like that you will be privy to right off the bat, so you can get in and back those tiers before they sell out. So one thing we always do with the Hack Shack campaigns is we have like limited tiers at either discounted prices or things that you can't get with any of the other tiers. So and those things sell out quickly. So we'll give you early warning that stuff. That's when the campaign's gone up, so that you can get in there and back those tiers before they sell out. So this is Black and White Volume 3, Sins of the Father. We are also going live with this campaign in October, just like Blue Bombshell, and it's gonna be a blast. October was the original month release date for Black and White in '94. So we're bringing it back. We're making it real. And this book is shaping up to be absolutely fantastic. So you guys, everybody listening, go click these links. Marcus Killigrew is putting them in the description. I know Bob is as well. Click those suckers. Go sign up for Blue Bombshell. Go sign up for Black and White Volume 3, Sins of the Father. And you're not out anything, man. So it's a great way to start the ball rolling for these campaigns. And we do appreciate you guys. I know I speak for Clint and all the other guys. We are nothing without you. So if you guys don't support this stuff, then we'll cease to exist. It's that simple.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at what IDW is planning on doing.
What are they planning on doing?
Have you heard like their whole big plan for their publishing going forward, and how they want to try to get every comic done for $200 a page or less, and that's for everything. That's drawing, inking, coloring, lettering, editing, everything.
That's how a lot of indie publishers used to be, though. Like literally.
Yeah. Their whole thing is like, oh, we're going to try to, like we want them. They're going to pay them big incentives if the book does well. It's basically for them to we want them to promote it and all that stuff. I mean, and that basically wasn't there a big thing for the last couple of years where there's like, I don't care about promotions. I'm just here to make the comic. That has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, well, hunger will take care of that.
Though.
Yeah. It's like like IDW's got like their whole idea is like some of the stuff I'm like, okay, I can understand that, but some of them like that is not going to work, man.
No,
like, especially the religious stuff redone in a modern telling.
The problem I have with all this stuff is that this is created by these publishers, these problems. But the ones that always end up having to pay the price, just like government, is the little guy. And in this case, the little guy is the creative team that brings these books to life, that they wouldn't have product if it wasn't for those people. But they know it's predatory practices. They know we love this stuff so much that we would work for scraps. And a lot of us have for many, many years. And that's why this is so criminal. Because just think, if they actually did their job, everything would change. If they got off their asses, and I'm sorry, you guys, I'm fucking pissed off about this. The industry, the comics industry, they don't do shit to sell these books. And then all I hear in articles is like, oh, the artist dropped the ball, or the story wasn't good, or this, that, or the other thing. It's like, screw you. A good salesman can sell anything. You don't.
And the publisher didn't do jack squat.
Yeah, and then the big announcement, like, this is the new ROXPXTN of the story. Like, who, what books are you coming? Like, I don't know, man. Like, they get this
with the IDW thing. The funniest thing I think is the addition to Bible stories, and that is 100% because if you go through retail in like brick and mortar stores, there's probably 4 times the number of religious bookstores out there than there are comic book shops.
Yeah. And also, some of the best-selling comics are religious comics. What is Sergio? I can never say his last name. He did the Living Bible or whatever. I worked with him on Batman and Wildcat with Bo Smith. What is his last name?
What was the Kirk Cameron movie thing that they did a comic book about?
Shirello, yeah, it's Sergio Shirello, and it is the Living Bible, right, Todd?
Yeah.
And that's like one of the biggest selling comics of all freaking time.
Yep.
Like, there is a market for it, but you're going to have to get somebody like Sergio to do the freaking work, because otherwise nobody's going to buy that crap. Because that subject matter, especially in comic books, it depends on that. Like they had Joe Kubert, that remember the treasury size book, the Bible stories and stuff like that had Moses, like the double like cover was like the 10 Commandments were on one side and then the other, like 5 of them and then the other 5, and Moses is like right on the seam.
You gotta have the gift of folds and drapery. You know that term.
Yeah. You got to be able to draw that stuff. And you're gonna have to get good people, but if they're only paying $250 a page,
but
imagine like the Tumblr art, Tumblr art. Wait, hold on. Can you imagine Tumblr art like illustrating the Living Bible? Can you imagine some of those artists that they've had on Captain Marvel, the pig-nosed Captain Marvel, and all that other shit?
The guy who did Ninjak doing the Bible.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Clint.
Well, it's just the blatantness of it, because this is a total IDW. Like somebody in corporate is like, well, there's all these religious bookstores out there. If we could just get a couple of our comics in there, it'll increase our sales by tenfold. Like literally, that's the conversation that was had.
Yeah.
But the idea that like we're gonna retell it for a modern audience is like, well, you're gonna crash and burn right there.
Well, the reason they're saying that is because they can't get a Joe Kubert to draw the damn things. They can't get anybody with any kind of traditional skills to draw this stuff to give it gravitas that it deserves, right? So the reason they call modern artists is the selling point to get cheap artists. Like if the color is going to be gaudy looking, the artwork's going to be miserable, like cartoony style.
Yeah, especially if you're going to try and get it for $200 a page.
Yeah, and the thing is that they have loaded that phrase now. Because they said the Bible for modern audiences. Now some of the apostles are going to be gay, if not Jesus.
Oh my God!
Like that's what I'm expecting when I hear that phrase. I go like, oh,
dude, if they try to do that, that company's going to burn like Oakland Lost Twice.
Yeah,
exactly. I guarantee you, the reason they're saying it is it's a fallback for the cheap artists.
Probably
they can get like cheap people that don't really know how to draw well, and especially like not to denigrate those people, but they're not going to be able to get a Joe Kubert. They're not going to be able to get a Sergio, however Todd says his last name. And I'm sorry, Sergio, because you're a buddy. I just can't say your last name. You're not going to be able to get artists on that level, not for that much money. Because you're saying the whole art team, right, Bob?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything from drawing to editorial.
Well, you're talking about writing, penciling, inking,
inking, coloring, lettering, editing, everything.
$250
a page is what they're trying to go. They're going to go.
You're going to have to go move to Rwanda.
And the way that they said they're going to do is like they're going to provide incentives on the back end if the book does well.
Ooh,
but I'm like, dude, like that's like someone coming to a comic book artist saying, well, I can't pay you up front, but it's great publicity, and then if the book does well, it's the same thing.
So hey, we're gonna bring back royalties, but we're not paying you up front.
Right? Exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's
a complete back end deal, but they are paying up front, so they are going to pay you a page rate.
A little bit.
What?
Yeah, but okay, but if it's $200 for everybody, what's the artist going to get? $20?
Yeah. Because it's editorial too, right?
Yes, everything.
Ooh.
No, it can't be editorial too.
Literally, I've got it right here.
Here's something they would sell more this way, right? All your old stuff you reprint with like a J. Campbell cover or Art Adams cover or Art T. Bear cover or a Jim. You do all that. Just changing the cover, you'll do more money than the other way.
Than paying $200 a page.
I've got the article right here. I could read it for you.
Oh, please do.
More consistent was the comment that IDW CEO Davide Jonas has appointed himself publisher of IDW now and has been pushing to bring the cost of comics down, especially on licensed titles at the publisher, looking to get every page of a comic for $200 to cover writing, penciling, inking, coloring, design, and editorial all in one.
Editorial too.
Yeah, wow. Former CEO, former co-publisher with Doyle, now president of publishing operations, Tara McCrillis, supports the financial cut. Indeed, the belief has been expressed that if creators are paid less, they will be more incentivized to promote the book to earn more as part of a new back end deal. So it's like listen, look, if you go out there and you bust your hump and you do the promotion for this, dude, we'll cut you a little bit off on the back end. You see what I'm saying?
This makes me really sad because this is really, really sad because they sincerely believe that. They believe that they're going to rape the talent, and then the talent is so desperate to get those royalties that they're going to promote the fucking book. Like this is absolutely arrogant.
It's a last desperate attempt.
It is. It's
exploitation.
Yeah, it is. And here's the thing: IDW is famous for doing that, for exploiting their talent like that. But the thing is did we not just for the last 3 or 4 years have creators, all these creators like what's her name, Ava DuVernay and all this, like saying I don't have to promote. It's like when you come out here and you say this stuff, you're hurting the sales in your books. That's not my problem. That's not my. I don't have to worry about that. That's not my problem. I'm just here to work.
Mentality.
Yeah. So how are you going to get people to do this when they won't? When they're literally come out saying, "I'm not doing this."
What I'm worried about is what happens to if the editorial is combined into that $200. What happens to our favorite milkshake editor at IDW?
Oh, she's losing her shit.
Has she been posting?
Yeah, she's like people are coming at her about it, and she's just like block. I'm not saying it. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, she's getting defensive.
Yeah, she's getting really super defensive about it.
Yes, I can see her doing that.
The language.
The thing is, I'm sorry, Todd, but the thing is, they're also changing things big time too, because they're throwing editorial now as a freelance. So they're not going to pay for medical. They're not going to pay them an hourly. They are not salaried anymore. They are going to work as freelance. So they're going to get paid shit because out of that 200, you said 200, not even 250, right?
No, 200 for everything.
200 for everything. That editor is going to make $5 a page.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For editing per page. So they're changing they're getting rid of all their overhead by doing that, because there's no reason to have a place of business if you're not going to house editorial. So you're going to have editorials work as a freelance in a freelance way. So you're not going to be responsible for their hourly, their medical, any of those kind of benefits that you used to be able to or have to do because they were salaried, employees. Now they're going to be freelance. And so this is I know they're going to get people to do this, but they're not going to get anybody that's of any real talent.
It'll be a short-term thing, and they'll realize that even doing this isn't going to.
It's not going to save them.
These are all desperation moves that are going to lead to nothing. This is just like the swirling around the bottom of the tank.
Yeah. So this is I found the rest of the articles and that the back end deal. The one that has yet to emerge. Indeed, editors may be rebranded as brand managers with editors who will cover a range of books. So if you are the editor of Godzilla, you are responsible for that brand, and you should be able to edit your books solo with no assistants or junior staff. So yes, expect.
So they're just delegating. Yeah, they're delegating more work to less people
or less pay.
And they're changing the title so they can probably cut the pay on the editorial too, because you're not an editor anymore. You're just a brand manager.
Yeah. And they've already had huge layoffs. So
are they gonna get like a McDonald's style cap?
Dude, at this point, man, I don't even know.
A name tag.
A name tag.
It's all funny to watch.
And a squeegee. Yeah.
Why don't they get one guy to perfect AI and just go that way?
Exactly.
Dude, and that was a big thing they were talking about. We need to the stigma of AI needs to be examined, because this is a tool that is that's literally what they're going to do.
They're going to push all this AI pages on there for under $200 a page. They'll do it in a heartbeat.
Yep.
But the thing is that this is like listening to Kamala Harris and the left talk. Like they're not real solutions. When you hear them talk, it's all crazy. And then if you just spend just a moment and think about it, it's nothing. There's nothing to it, right? So the thing is, this is not going to help sales. This is not going to help promote your company. This is not going to do anything long term. All it's going to do is put out the fires that are right in front of you right this very minute and keep you going for maybe a couple more months, because there is no growth. There is no potential here at all. There is none. You're going to fail. This is not attainable. This is the most asinine idea I've ever fucking heard. Like there are ways to sell books, and this is not one of them. And also, none of them, just like a politician, none of them talk like. I'm sorry, I'm just fired up. You have Kamala Harris saying she's going to do X, Y, Z. It's like, and then people ask her one fundamental question: why didn't you do that for the last 4 years? You had a position where you could have changed all this stuff, but it got worse, right? But nobody asked that question. So my thing is, IDW, all your proposals here, all these ways of fixing things or making things work are not long-term. They will not give you success. These are not real solutions. You need to sell books. You need to expand the market. You need to figure out how to get these books to people. I mean, the Christian bookstores and stuff, that's one idea, right? That's not necessarily a bad idea, but you have to get artists that are worthy of a book like that to draw it. So you're gonna have to spend money on that. But
nobody wants to see an ugly Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus worthy artist.
Yeah,
and this is the thing is like this is coming from IDW, who has already lost all of their Hasbro licensing.
Yeah,
they've lost.
Why was that?
Yeah, because they ran the company in the ground. So and the reason why they're pivoting to more homegrown books is because they're losing all of their licenses.
Yeah, they don't have any licenses anymore.
Yeah, they've got a few left, but they're losing them.
And look at the sales of those books that they lost.
Yeah. They're terrible.
Is Skybound doing well?
No.
When they had them, but now those books are good.
Now they're in the top.
Generation 1 was
Dude, that Transformers book is badass.
You know the number one book in 24 of this month, or no, April was Hawk.
Wow.
From G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's at Skybound, right?
Right.
Yeah, with people who actually care about.
They never did that. They never said, "Hey, let's do this miniseries or that miniseries." No, it was just G.I. Joe, Larry Hama, same. Stephen Gallant, not Stephen Gallant. G.L. Gallant.
I've got an old school Devil's Due story. When I worked at Devil's Due on Voltron, I did some G.I. Joe covers and whatever, and it was forget the name of the main guy now. Steve Kurth was drawing G.I. Joe when they relaunched it. And does anybody remember the name of the main dude? I can't think of it now. But Kirkman wanted to write G.I. Joe so bad. And he had just done Battle Pope at Image and had done kind of well. And he was launching, and I knew Tim Seeley was at Devil's Due. And God, I can't remember the name of the main guy. And it was just a fluke that they got the G.I. Joe license. Like, G.I. Joe was dead at that point. And the main guy that run Devil's Due, he got the G.I. Joe license. And he got it for, like, T-shirts. And he just decided on a fluke to do it as a comic book. And so they'd done it for a couple of years. G.I. Joe was a huge success for Devil's Due. So they had their con booths up and everything. And Kirkman would come around after Battle Pope launched, and it did okay. And he would talk to the main guy and to some of the editors at Devil's Due, and he wanted to write G.I. Joe super bad.
Yeah. Destro #1 sets a new G.I. Joe set records with 85,000 units ordered.
Well, and this is just what karma and actually being a fan of the property and actually having talent writing, like it shows you. Like Kirkman always had a love of G.I. Joe, and G.I. Joe it was always like a good solid IP property.
Image Skybound
in the right hands.
Dude, the Energon book, which is the Transformers crossover, Image Skybound Energon Universe surpasses 2 million units sold.
Yeah.
Transformers title approaches 300,000 sales, outselling every major
in
comic.
2024.
Yep.
Are all those Skybound books.
Yeah.
That's
friggin'
nuts, because
man.
they know what they're doing. They love comic books. They know they have to spend money on the talent to create good comic books. And with Kirkman, story comes first. He's a writer. Story comes first. Go get a great artist to draw the story that you're doing, but story comes first. And have a love of the characters, have a respect of the characters, and the
And
rest
the art
takes
form,
care of
and the
itself.
art form.
Yeah.
The only
Bob,
Marvel
I want
and-
to go back for a minute. Hold on. I want
Yeah.
to go back for a minute. Like you were talking about IDW and the page rate.
Yeah.
I was thinking. I think somebody kind of mentioned it and got me thinking. So, are they going to give you $200 to do your own creator IP, or are they going to give you $200 to do their IP?
Theirs.
Oh
Yeah, they
shit!
don't-
I was thinking if it was your IP, they
No.
they possibly
No.
could get people in, because if you could pay people to do their own IP, then
No.
that would be maybe beneficial. And then also the royalty thing, I guarantee you how they're going to do the back end is they're going to do like it has to sell X amount first. They're going to break even, and then you'll get royalties after that. So the
Yeah.
likelihood of you seeing any royalty is
The book's going to
next.
have to sell really well for you to see any kind of real money.
Right.
But the thing is, I think
just want to clarify that in my
Yeah.
own head. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think what basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to get like an artist on the book who's going to do pencils, inks, colors all by himself, and then editor and whoever's editing it, they want them to edit it, letter it, co-write it, whatever. They're trying to take as many creators and condense them all in as few people as possible.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like you're doing the job of like 3 or 4 people for like $100.
Well, I completely understand all that, but I was thinking just to give some merit to the idea, if it was a creator, like if you went into Artist Alley, you got 25 independent creators that are trying to hawk their books, and you went up to them and said, I have a $200 budget, I'll publish your IP. You know what I mean? You're going to get some takers on that. And so then you could put books out that way. But if you're not making even that offer, it's going to be hard for people.
It's basically they're looking to because they only have a few franchises that they still hang on to, but they're looking to basically create all new IPs with superheroes, crime drama, and then of course the modern day retelling of the Bible stories.
Right.
So basically, because they lost all those, they have no choice but to do this.
What's that, Clint?
We've seen publishers try to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Before.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. It's not going to. The idea is flawed. You got to sell more books. There's only one answer. Everybody who's listening, there's only one answer. You have to advertise. You have to promote. You have to find new ways to sell the book. It's that simple. It's that simple. You can't rely on just the artist to sell it, and you can't keep, knocking the page rates down so you can afford to keep putting out product. It's just
And
lose.
and I also think that the whole reason is like if the book doesn't well, then IDW only has one person to blame, and that's the editor,
the homosexual that drew
the brand manager. So in other words, it's we can point our finger over there.
Also, I want to reiterate what Art said as far as
not the homosexual books.
Some of those top books aren't top artists. Everyone's excited about Daniel Warren Johnson. He's a kinetic artist, right?
Yeah.
Really kinetic. It's good stuff. But Chris Batista's doing one of those books. Paul Pelletier's doing G.I. Joe. So these aren't like, the A tier of artists.
Mm-hmm.
But there's excitement. There's good stories.
And they're solid.
They're promoted well.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that Destro book is the best selling G.I. Joe comic in 20 years and the best selling solo character launch in the franchise's history. So
Well, since we're on sales, let's wrap this with the direct market. I think Todd wanted to talk a little bit about the industry, and so this kind of dovetails right into that. So, do one of you guys have that article?
I do. I did do a lot of reading, but here's the thing: the bad news is they stopped putting unit sales.
Yeah.
after 2022. I didn't realize that.
Mm.
Can't find them anywhere.
ICV2 used to be able to get all the numbers, and then they stopped. You had,
Right.
you had to pay
Yeah.
a subscription to
So-
see comic book sales numbers.
I can give you an idea that comic books per year until 2024 were steady around 400 million. Graphic novels were consistently climbing, and they're really doing well.
Mm.
The top selling books, like we've been talking about for the last half hour, have been those Skybound books. For whatever reason, it's created like a fury. You know, people are like and they're getting multiple covers and multiple printings. So when you say like, oh, they did 1 million units, and they did more, you know, the Destro did 3 printings.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's ridiculous what they're doing and proving that, you know, you do something with a little bit, like, sort of, maybe you would call it like you're fan feeding good stuff.
Or
to
you
the
care.
fans.
You care
Right.
about what you're
You
doing.
care about a little bit of care.
Right. Care about, you know, because the only other books, I was about to say this before, only Marvel and DC books that have sold over 60,000 units have been those number ones, like the new X-Men number 1, the Spider-Man number 1 from 2023. It's in some of like Web of Spider-Man with Greg Land did really well. Those are the ones that are doing well. It's almost you got to reboot a book to do well.
And
Other
you're
than
talking about
that-
doing over 60,000, not 100,000.
Right.
No, right.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything is below 40,000.
Yeah, the
That's
standard
crazy.
used to be 100,000 to be in the top
Was it-
10.
Back in the day, 40,000 wasn't royalty. You couldn't get
Well,
your
when
royalty.
I was working at Marvel, they were canceling books at 40,000.
Yes.
Right.
So those books they claimed at the time they weren't making them any money.
Yeah.
So anything under 40,000 was getting the axe, because Marvel was claiming that they weren't making any money. So I don't know how all of a sudden these guys are making money other than, you know, doing the IDW.
Well, the cover price is up and the page rate is down.
Right.
Right. $5.99 is the sort of $4.99 is the median cover.
Yeah.
And you know
that's what
what's-
that's what the Destro book was selling for.
Yeah, you know what's really interesting about like sales and stuff like that? It's like it's the artists because they're the easy targets, right? They have less of a negotiation. But you know who never gets effed over in comic books? It's the printer, because the printer will not print unless they have like money up front. You know, they will not print. They will not negotiate like, oh, we'll go down, whatever. I mean, they might if they get like serious volume from a publishing company, which I know like Image Comics in the day with Quebecor, I think they did have somewhat of a discount because of the sheer volume. But if you think about that was in the mid 90s. So they were giving them millions and millions of books to print. You know what I mean? So then all of a sudden you have negotiation clout. But if you're selling like 8,000 copies or 10,000, 30,000, whatever it is, you have no negotiation clout. So that's the thing. It's like the printers aren't renegotiating. You know, I guarantee you, Marvel, DC, all these other printer or publishers are paying top dollar to those guys. So that's also what sickens me is nobody else takes a hit really, other than the artist.
Yeah.
I know I'm back on where we were before, but that's just burning me, man.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that these companies are doing this. And also just back on to move forward, like where Todd's at with the sales. It's been proven time and time again. You have an interesting creative team on an IP, even one that isn't selling. Like you take like a book that's like a D level, you know, book, and it's not selling well. And you get a good, interesting team on there. Not even that they're like going to cost a bunch of money. Like, remember, what was it, Moon Knight with what was the guy that ended up doing profit for
Stephen Platt?
Yeah, you get somebody like that on the book. He's from out of nowhere, right? He starts doing the book, and then all of a sudden the sales go up. Or you get Rob Liefeld on some of these X titles, you know, or Todd McFarlane on some of these books. the numbers go up. You know, Jim Lee, you get the numbers start going up. So then, but I mean, the X-Men were already selling well. Some of those books were already selling well. But you can, like, if you put Jim Lee, you know, in that early X-Men phase, and you put him on one of these, like Iron Man or something like that, I guarantee you the sales still would have went up.
Oh yeah.
You know? So there is a proven formula where you could get. And I'm not saying the most expensive talent. I'm just saying good, interesting talent.
Look for talent and put them on a book, and then see
right,
what
and they can come from anywhere. And then once that starts working out, and sales are there, then treat them well. You know, let them you know, partake in the success. One of the things I remember talking to what was his? Oh my gosh, he's the guy, the Thanos guy, Jim Starlin. Starlin was talking about, he was doing some new series. It had something to do with some of these like Thanos characters and the oh my gosh, the Gauntlet Saga. What's that, Pedro?
The Celestials or the?
Yeah, just all of that universe stuff. You know, that Marvel cinematically made billions of dollars off of. And so then I was talking to him, and he was talking to me about page rates. And that this is when Marvel went to the A page rate, the B page rate, the C, the D, the whatever. And all those were based on the book level. So if you were on what Marvel considered a D level book, it didn't matter who you were. You could be Jim Lee. You were paid the D level rate. That's what you were paid.
You get the D. Yeah.
But the thing is, when I was talking to Jim, he said we brought the sales up on that book, right? So the book every month was selling better, but there was no policy in place for them to benefit from that, right? Yeah. They were still, as far as Marvel was concerned, they were on a D level book, you know. So that's bullshit, because then there's no incentive. There's no reason why you would even take a book like that, you know, because it's BS. So these guys are playing all these like shenanigans with the talent, and none of it is going to get a better story, a better book, you know, for them to sell. None of those things. So these are all, to me, these are counterproductive things that are going to affect the sales bottom line. So what else do you got, Todd, as far as the sales and all that?
Like I said, the stuff stopped, the units stopped showing after 2022. So I could go back and show you April 2022 sales and what the tops were, if you want to do like a
comparison.
Sure.
It's okay. I heard that too. Are they wrapping in like crowdfund now to some of these figures as far as their sales bottom line?
Oh no, nothing like that. No.
Because I thought like a few months back, or maybe it was a year or so, that they were including, is this it here? They were including crowdfund comics as well.
I can't find anything that even mentions.
Yeah, weren't we like e-beggars a couple of years back?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is April, and this is the last Ronin did 100,000. Amazing Spider-Man #1 did 92,000. And Hulk 6, this is after Immortal Hulk. I forgot. Oh, this is a Nick Klein. Hulk 6 did 60,000 units.
So by slot 4, the numbers, they go in half from #1. So only 4 slots down, the numbers go to half.
Correct.
That is nuts. This is nuts.
The top 10 books used to do all be in 100,000.
Yes.
Right? And the top book would be way over 100,000.
Right. Like maybe 500,000. Like that's even when it wasn't. Last time I worked there, like 500,000 was probably like the #1 slot.
Yeah. It wasn't that long ago that the top 10 was all 100,000, and you dropped to like 90 or 80,000 out of the top 10.
Exactly.
So here's a knock.
The top 10, the numbers would start going down.
And the gauge was always going by whatever Batman or Detective was, because that would always be 100,000.
Or X-Men or Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's Noctera, right? This is
Yeah.
this is
That was
what's his
crowdfunded.
name that works for DC.
Tony Daniels.
Tony Daniels, right?
Yeah.
So this was first issue crowdfunded,
Yeah.
and it did really well. Look, number 9 does 26,000.
Yeah, well, congratulations, Tony. I know, Tony. That's pretty impressive. Go back to the top 10. Is there only one Marvel book? There's 2 Marvel books that are in the top 10.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit! No
Amazing
DC.
Spider-Man and
Look at-
Hulk.
Saga came back at 57, right?
How much money is Todd making off of Spawn?
Well,
He's
I don't
got
know the money.
Three Spawn books in the top 10.
Well, this is old information, but when I worked at Image, this is in the day in the 90s, you got $1 off each cover. So if it was the same math, then each one of these totals is the bottom line. So if this was Image or whatever, so Todd made $44K gross, before expenses. So that's his total take on it. So with him taking a bigger chunk, because he doesn't really have to split it and divvy it up with Image the same way, like say I did or whatever in the day, he probably made about 55K off that book gross. But then he's got to pay the printing, all the artists and everything on that 44K. That profit margin is not very big.
And these are numbers from 2 years ago, and we know it's only gotten worse.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that yet.
I haven't looked at numbers in a long time. These are brutal numbers.
Dude,
Yeah.
I know that about 6 or 7 months ago, DC had 2 Batman books that weren't even in the top 250.
Oh no, Todd, bring it back. That was interesting. I'll just
Leave it up
scrolling.
there.
Just keep scrolling. I want to find out what other books are in there.
Like, think about that. Like we had Batman, like a brand new Batman comic that didn't even make it into the top 250.
Yeah, 'cause I want to find out where does DC debut in this top 100 or whatever this is. Like, where does a Berserk is in there? Oh my gosh, we're almost top 20.
Yeah, keep going.
Are there any DC books in there? There aren't.
No.
Holy shit.
There's a Dark Horse book before DC.
There's a couple of
Dynamite, IDW, Rocketeer, The Great Race, number 1.
Wait a minute, we're in the 40s and still no DC Comics?
Right.
Holy shit. How are they even wait, slow down. Okay, so
there's got to be something. There's got maybe DC is not listed in this comic crowd because
Is this before or after Batman showed his pee-pee?
You know what it
Yeah,
is?
because there's no DC in here at all. This is crazy. Yeah.
You know why? Because they don't use Diamond.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So these are Diamond's numbers. Okay.
These are Diamond's numbers. So yeah, DC stepped out and did their own distribution kind of thing.
So you don't know their numbers.
Yep, they don't, and they don't want to show their numbers.
It's a mystery.
Right. But we could imagine that there's probably, 1 in the top 10. They might have 3 by the top 20.
There's like a Batman in the top 10.
That's DC. But yeah, this is crazy. Like before you said that, because I was like, there's no DC in here. That is nuts. But if you think once you get past the top, like say 4, like if you're in the top 4, I think you could make okay money, because if you think about the talent and the printing, that's probably about 30K. So just the printing and talent on these levels is probably about 30K. So if you deduct 30 from 100, then that's 700,000. Yeah, 700. No, what is that? That is 30 from that. That's 70,000. So that's $70,000 that you make gross. Separate that from 50,000. At 50,000, you're making 20K. So that's some decent money. Once you start dropping under that, what is it, like 60? If you went 60, keep scrolling. So there's one that's 32. So what is that? Something Killing the Children, 32,000. they're making about $2,000, $3,000 gross,
Wow.
depending on the talent.
Yeah. Now
that's-
I don't have the individual sales comes, but I do know this. In 2024, DC Comics market share dropped below 20% of the overall comic market share.
Wow.
It's down from 21.6% in the first quarter of 2024.
Marvel.
And
Marvel's
it's at
always
17.8 in
sure.
quarter two.
So
17.
any book like Thor or any book under that, that's the 13, like after 13, you're not making any profit. Like, I don't know how these books, the mainstream books are making any kind of profit.
Yeah.
You can scroll a little bit more, Todd.
Yeah. To give you an idea, Image Comics was 12.9% of the overall comic book market.
Those X book.
So DC's barely beating Image.
Yeah, X-Men is not making a profit. These books, sincerely, somehow they figured out some hanky-panky are paying those guys next to nothing, and the printers are taking a cut. Man, these books are not. They're upside down. They're actually, this is them paying money to print these books like out of their pocket.
This yellow stuff over here, this yellow column is projected. So they even know, well, Venom was projected to do a lot more and it failed miserably. But they even know where they should fall. Like X-Men Red should have been around 74 and it ended up around 26.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's quite a drop. Yeah, because it's weird to see X-Men this far down and not in the top 5.
Well, when you start making galas,
I don't think people really knew. It was hard to tell where you going with this story.
Yeah.
Why are you bringing out books like Marauders and it's like, what? Why?
The funny thing is too, is like as bad as those sales numbers are, Marvel's market share actually increased. But I think that's because DC's tanked.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also Todd said this is 2022.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, these numbers have got to be a lot worse since then.
Yep.
Hey, what are you guys that is better on the computer? See what the top book sales were in like 2024 to see what the
I
numbers.
can give you the top books, but I can't give you the units.
You can't give the numbers. Okay.
Yeah. But that
I wonder if it's under 100K.
So top selling comics in 2024, X-Men number 35, Ultimates number 1, Ultimate Spider-Man. Wait, let's see here. Top.
They don't give the numbers, right?
No, it just says okay. So top 50 selling comics by units. This is from June. Ultimates number 1, Ultimate Spider-Man number 6. Amazing Spider-Man 51, X-Men 35, Transformers number 9, Amazing Spider-Man 52, Ultimate X-Men number 4, Batman 148, and then Scarlet, the G.I. Joe singles title was number 9, and then Batman 149 was number 10.
Yeah, I got a feeling that those numbers are at least 5,000 to 10,000 less than they were 2 years ago, because I still hear from a lot of different people that the sales is still going down. So
three of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 books. So 6 of those books were Marvel. 6 of the top 10 were Marvel, but 3 of those 6 were all from the Ultimate line that everybody likes better than the main continuity.
Yeah, because they're rebooting all that stuff right now, so there's interest in it. I can see that, but still, the numbers aren't there. They have to figure out ways to sell these books. My daughter sent, like, I guess Cinemark or one of these movie theaters is selling like vintage Batmobile from like the Burton, like popcorn containers. Like, I guess they're like these popcorn containers, and you can fill the Batmobile full of popcorn, and they're selling that as like a souvenir or whatever. And like the theater here is they have 80s and 90s nights. So there's like at a discount, they're playing old movies and they're doing well. You know what I mean? So I was thinking there's that Batman adaptation that Jerry Ordway did. Like it sold originally at that first Batman, the Tim Burton film. Why not reissue, get that book into these movie theaters? Like start trying to expand. Like if you're thinking that somebody's going to shell out money for a Batmobile, why wouldn't they buy a comic book? If it was a reasonable price, say a comic book combo with popcorn and a small soda or something like that.
You can't put popcorn in a comic book, Art.
Well, I realize that. I do realize
the new gimmick is having all these fancy popcorn, like what was it, Dune, and then the Wolverine mouth, and yeah, it's like variant covers, but it sells, but it's short-lived. But
it's just strange that like somebody could go, okay, we're going to manufacture. It's got to be more expensive to bang out one of those Batmobiles than a comic book. I mean, especially if it's already paid for, like Jerry Ordway. If this is old stuff, just reprint it, put it back out there.
You need somebody who cared enough to try and help comics out to sell them, working in comics to have that work. And there is nobody working at Marvel or DC who actually cares about comics.
No,
there just isn't.
All right, I got to read this because this is funny, and it's probably true. Randy Howell says, the comic industry epitaph will read, going gay doesn't pay. Yeah. And if you guys want to know where the gayness is on the show, Pedro came out of the closet on this show, and you weren't here, Todd? Like, Todd's acting like this is a shocker. Todd, you were here. You were here when he, on his sleeve, hey, Pedro, show him your gay sleeve.
Lucky, sir, we don't have closets in Latin America.
So
is that a true thing? You don't have closets?
No.
Where do you hang your clothes and stuff?
We grab a string between two palm trees and we hang our clothes there.
That's not true. That's not true. And neither is the fact that well, it's not a fact, but that Pedro's gay. Pedro loves the ladies. Yeah, you can't stop him.
And the ladies love me.
That's true.
That's like a weird tattoo, but we won't tell everybody what it is.
No.
Pedro loves the booger sugar too. That's why the chicks dig him.
Yeah.
Booger sugar.
Coke.
Oh, I
Coke,
get it.
Cocaine.
He's Panamanian.
Yeah.
That's why I said it.
No. I don't take offense to that.
That's the joke.
Yeah.
I want to rock and roll party every day. Where's the Coke?
Where's the Coke? And I don't mean the little thing in the red can. Anyways, reboot your thing. We're gonna put a spotlight on your blue bombshell again, and then we're gonna close down this bad boy.
Yo.
You bet. Let me grab it here quick. Oh, here. Let me.
We definitely got to bring people up again because that was sad. All right, this will bring you guys back. This is the Blue Bombshell by Clint Helinski.
Here we go. Let me fire up the. Get that out of the way.
Yeah, get that. Oh, see, there you go. Now there's the stuff.
Blue Bombshell mailing list. Sign up now. When you sign up and back the book, you get a free sketch card and you'll get access to the discount reward tiers. So nothing to sign up. Jump on board. Really get the ball moving on these campaigns when we launch them. Superhero sex comedy. Our heroine, speaking of cocaine, opium, heroin. Blue Bombshell is always there to save the day, but she often runs into some unfortunate wardrobe malfunctions. I saw somebody saying they got their Maidens of Mayhem book earlier in the chat. So my campaigns always fulfill, and we fulfill on time. I've done like 8 campaigns now. This will be the second Blue Bombshell book. If you missed the first one, you can get it in this campaign. So I want to make sure everybody gets all the Blue Bombshell stories. But yeah, fun comic. Jump on the mailing list, sign up, and we'll be launching in October.
Yeah, baby. So
Brian Norther, you're a man of the world.
Man of the world.
The Lita's hot sauce. Product of Panama, really good. They're shouting that out. So yeah, it's good hot sauce.
All right. Well, you guys got 2 pre-launchers to sign up for. So this is Black and White Volume 3, Sins of the Father. This book is going to kick some major ass. We're going to have a lot of celebratory things because they turned 30. They turned 30 this October. So October, we are going live with this campaign, but we don't have to wait for that. You guys can sign up right now, be eligible for a free trading card with a backing. And all you have to do is give us your email pretty much. And also for you'll get early access to some of the special tiers and things like that. So you'll be notified before the people that didn't sign, the unfortunate that did not sign up. So you don't want to be unfortunate. Sign up for Black and White Volume 3, Sins of the Father, and Blue Bombshell, because both are going to rock your socks off. So
I forgot one thing, Art.
Okay.
So I don't know how well it's going to show up here. I don't know if you want to put me full screen, but something I'm doing different this time. Here, let's see how.
Oh, you're drawing on the board?
I drew all the covers, all the variant covers. I'm trying to get the glare off of it. Are inked on Bristol board by me. So I'm going to have original art of all the variant covers available. Trying to get that available in the campaign. I haven't done this before. So my original art for covers of my books is actually pretty rare. This is going to be the first time. So just to kind of show you guys what's going to be available in the campaign, something to look forward to. But yeah, I'm going to have original art for the covers in that. And yeah, I quit being lazy. Boy, I haven't inked on board in a while, Art.
It feels good though, doesn't it?
I had a stressful day.
You're trying to get that eye-hand coordination back. Right?
Oh, and my eyes, the last few years, I got these now. And when I'm inking, and oh boy, it was an adventure. I've gotten loose and lazy with the digital, and my flow is so great on the digital. And then my ink on the board is like,
well, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's some kind of stabilizer that's in some of those programs.
Oh yeah,
so they kind of help you. And this could sound insensitive, but in the day at Hack Shack we called it palsy. So you have those palsy moments where you're just like, ah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's just you want a long thigh curve, and all of a sudden it's like you're getting 3/4 through, and it's like, oh my god, I can't F up here.
Yeah, exactly. So Todd, what do you got as a parting shot?
Okay, I'm gonna modernize and paraphrase a Voltaire quote.
Okay.
The candidate the establishment hates the most is probably the candidate that'll be the best for the people.
Yes.
There you go. There you go. And this coming from a man, I just realized the walls of your studio are painted pink.
Yeah.
Orange.
It's a peach. It's a
light peach.
Yeah,
Light peach.
Oh, okay. Good save. All right, Pedro. I know you got your animation studio. So what else you got going?
Oh, okay. I'm wrestling now. So just finished a huge project, focusing on High Octane 2. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. I'm doing a lot on this one. So It's gonna be more of me in art, obviously. I mean, it's his IP, but you guys are gonna get more of me.
Yeah, well, Pedro is he's doing the lion's share of the writing, but we kind of plotted it out together. And he's 3 pages into pencils, inks, and coloring, and they're absolutely fantastic. Looks amazing, and so it's coming along. I can't wait to where we can start showing you stuff. I'm looking at it right now, and I want to share. But I can't because Pedro's like, not done yet. It's still work in progress.
Yeah, like the thing is, like we're designing a lot of stuff, and we're coming with a lot of color schemes to make it recognizable. So there's some new characters coming in, so it's very exciting, guys. So I can't wait for you guys to check it out.
And the villain is going to be so unexpected. You are not going to see this villain coming. It is going to. It's a character that you already know, actually.
Ooh.
So that's as much as I'm going to tease it. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And actually, I just got. I did some tweaks on this, and so I can honestly say it's done. So this is the cover to High Octane 2.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is my pencils and inks, but it's based on a layout by Pedro.
Oh, cool.
So we were working. We were just kind of live streaming and working together, and he zipped this thing out. And I was like, yes, but I had to go. I want to draw in Pedro style. So this is kind of like a hybrid of like Pedro and me.
It's I like the fluidity, like the cartoony fluidity that he gives you, but then he gives you your nice finishes over it. Like that's a nice blend.
You know what it reminds me of? Does it remind you guys of that guy that used to draw on Wizard? Not the teaching guy, but the guy that would have little segments and little things. You remember that guy?
I don't remember exactly.
No.
There was a couple of different guys that would do segments in there, but yeah, I love the arm movement and that knee up to the elbow, like real, like pushing the anatomy.
Yeah.
And then Art's finishes over it. Like that looks great. That's a nice piece, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little more involved than that. Like Pedro did the layout, like the rough. So these aren't Pedro's like pencils. These are my pencils.
Oh, okay.
It really pops.
Yeah. But Pedro definitely inspired it. So it's a weird combination. So it's kind of hard to explain it. But I think
it was more of like a game. Like we were just throwing out ideas. I came up with the general concept of like what the background should look like. And then Art told me like I need to draw this. I'm like, well, okay, I'm not gonna say all of that. So he finished it. Then he sent it to another colorist. I had notes on the collar because there's a look I was looking for, and this is what we got. So yeah, it was really fun to do.
Well, and that's the thing is the fun shows through.
Yeah,
the enthusiasm, like the end result, is what matters, and it looks fantastic. And it looks like you guys were both having fun working on it. Like that's the best. That's the best thing you can hope for in like something.
We were drawing and giggling.
It's such a pleasure to work with Pedro because he's just a fountain of knowledge, and also he can just do things like quickly. Like I can do a scribble or something, but Pedro can it would almost be fully realized, you know, and it will be as quickly as I can throw something down. So I really do like working that way. And Pedro gave me an outline, a written outline based on the story that we kind of jammed out on a I guess what would you call it, like a StreamYard private hangout.
Yeah,
and, it's just 2 pages, and it is so concise and so perfect. I think Pedro and I are going to do some writing together sometime in the future because it was so freaking good, Pedro. I can't wait till people get to see this book. But in the meantime, while you're waiting for that, I have a book that's called Oodles of Doodles, and other stuff too. So this is my art book. We are almost at 15K, you guys, 117 backers, which is fantastic. Thank you guys so very much for supporting this book. And here's an amazing video by Shanthan Jetty. Such a cool guy.
Art T-Bear's Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too is a 60-page, 9x12 hardbound book that will be printed on thick glossy stock paper and is a compilation of artwork from award-winning artist Art T-Bear. This book is filled with images that come from Art's Marvel, DC, Image, and Comicsgate work. That includes convention doodles, commissions, creator-owned IPs, and pop culture subjects that Art has brought to life with his masterful draftsmanship. Art T-Bear's signature style is both lyrical and meticulously realized. The mastery of craft, seen in his work, owes itself to his 40 years in the comic industry, as well as viewing life through his own love of the art form itself. Fans of art prints have the opportunity to back one or both of the mini print tiers. Both are stunning collections of work that you can back individually or together as a bundle. Art T-Bear's Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too. Back it now on Indiegogo.
Yeah, you guys, back it now. Shanthan Jetty tells you to do so. We have to listen. So back this book tonight. Do not delay. I am not sure how long this is going to be in demand. So I'm thinking at least till the end of the year. We're going to play it by ear, Pamela and I, my partner in crime. And we're just going to see, because we're going to basically have two campaigns going on at the same time. But you guys, met with the printer yesterday. Actually, we got wined and dined by the printer. The printer came to Texas to hang out with Pamela and I and bought us lunch, dessert, and some libations. It was incredible. I haven't been wined and dined in a while, so it was very cool. And so we went over this campaign and the Black and White Volume 3 campaign with her. So we got a lot of stuff in stone. So this book, the files and everything, will go out next week. This book should be printed within a month, I'm thinking, which means that this book will be in fulfillment way before Christmas. So don't hold me to that, because anything could change. But
Great
that's
Christmas present.
Yeah, that's the plans at this moment in time. So this is a 9x12 book. We started at 60 pages, but we added 4 new pages because we hit that 14K stretch goal. And that's the cool thing about these crowdfund is we build these books together. So there's a lot of new pages. So even if you got the original print run that sold out of Oodles, this book is pretty much a different version. We're not calling it Oodles 2, but it is a different version. So there's a lot of new artwork. There's 4 new pages. Actually, there's 6 total new pages in the book. And this right here, the quote from Kevin Nolan and this amazing Batman drawing that we did together, that's going to be the back cover. That's going to be the new back cover to the book, and it looks fantastic to see it, in the stark black and white like that. And then, of course, in the video you saw the interiors, but we have a lot of prints as well. So we have this pit print, which is doing exceptionally well. So if you guys want like a killer pit print, and this has got the thumbs up from the master himself, Del Keown. So everything, I got the okay, the thumbs up from all the creators. So like Cyberfrog is in here. Ethan gave me permission. We have some of the Graveyard Shift characters in there. So John Malin gave me permission. We got Aaron Lepresti's Garbage Man, who made the cut. So he's going to be in the book as one of the new pages. And then, of course, Billy Tucci's She. And Mandy Summers and Del Keown's Gem Shock. So we got a lot of Comicsgate being represented here. This is basically 40 years of a career that's going to be compiled into one book. We got a lot of prints, like I said. So this is a commemorative 11x17 Juju black and white print, celebrating the 30 years. And then we also have print tiers that you can back. And all these books and all these tiers, they're signed and numbered. So all the books are signed and numbered for collectability. And if you want me to draw, we have this head sketch tier. I'll draw either black or white on your fly leaf or together. So you can get a little bit of a discount if you back the jam. The jam tier, which is, where is it at? Is this it? No, here it is. The Oodles Jam, you can get everything, all the prints, and you can get the drawings in your on your fly leaf inside. It's the little white sheets of paper that are inside the book, and the book will be printed. It'll look gorgeous. Oh, let me go back to the prints, because when we were talking to the print rep that we hung out with yesterday, we were talking about some kind of like gold leaf or something around the prints. So it just looks like gold paint at this point, you know, in the on the site. But we're talking about somehow enhancing the prints. So we might be able to do some kind of gold border around these prints. So these things are going to be top-notch printing on great paper and also have enhancements on them. So if you guys want some killer-looking prints, back those tiers and you're going to get more than you bargained for. So Bob, you get the ultimate farewell. What do you got?
I told you I got nothing.
That's it? You got nothing?
I ain't bring shit, man. I came unprepared.
Okay, man. But yeah, I always appreciate you guys. I think this was one of the better. We were firing all cylinders. So it was good to have you back, Pedro.
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys go check out Blue Bombshell. Sign up for Black and White Volume 3 and go back Oodles tonight. So thanks again. Pontificators is every Wednesday night, 8 Eastern Standard Time. The usual suspects are usually here, and we talk pop culture to death. So I hope you guys had a good time with us, and we'll see you next week. Take care.